You designed a plan for a reason. Feelings weren't part of that design. A builder doesn't abandon the blueprint just because the weather changes. Neither should you. There's a quiet moment in every meaningful journey where the excitement fades, where the first push is gone, and the work feels heavier, and your own emotions begin arguing against the very thing you promised yourself you'd do. You didn't design your plan on a bad day. You didn't create it when you were tired, discouraged, or doubtful. You created it from clarity, from intention, from the part of you that wants a life built on purpose, not impulse. That version of you, the planner, the thinker, the designer, deserves to be followed, because feelings may move you, but they rarely move you in the right direction. A plan is steady, a plan is chosen, a plan is built from the person you want to become, while feelings come from the person you're trying to outgrow. Your plan and your feelings will not always agree. In fact, on most days, they won't. Feelings say, "Not today." The plan says, "This is the day." Feelings say, "I'm not ready." The plan says, "Start anyway." Feelings say, "This is too hard." The plan says, "This is necessary." A disciplined life is simply the decision to obey the plan instead of the mood. If you look closely at anyone who has built something lasting, a skill, a career, a body of work, a reputation, you will find this quiet truth every time. Their success came from what they did when they didn't feel like doing anything. They kept showing up when inspiration was gone. They kept their word to themselves when it would have been easier to break it. They followed the blueprint, even on the days when their emotions tried to rewrite it. Your feelings will tell you that you're tired, that you're behind, that you're not good enough, that you should rest just a little longer. And yet, your plan will sit patiently in the corner, unchanged, waiting for you to return to who you said you'd be. Your life changes the moment you realize this. Your feelings are guests. Your plan is the builder. And every time you follow your feelings instead of your plan, you hand your future over to something temporary. Feelings weren't designed to lead. They were designed to signal. They come and go. They fluctuate with weather, sleep, noise, hunger, memory, fear. But your plan holds steady. It knows where you're going. It knows why you started. It knows what you're capable of becoming. Success requires one quiet form of courage. The courage to act according to your plan, not your emotions. Because every time you rise above how you feel, you become stronger. You become clearer. You become someone who can trust themselves. And once you trust yourself, the world begins to trust you too. So when your feelings shift, as they will, and when motivation fades, as it always does, return to the blueprint. Your future depends on it. Why feelings destroy consistency? Feelings are powerful, but they are unreliable. They shift with the smallest changes. A poor night of sleep, a tense conversation, a moment of doubt, a wave of uncertainty. And when something changes that easily, it cannot be trusted to guide a long-term goal. Consistency depends on stability. Feelings depend on circumstance. Put the two together, and you'll never build anything that lasts. The reason feelings destroy consistency is simple. Feelings care about comfort. Progress cares about commitment. Your feelings want ease. Your progress wants effort. Your feelings want relief. Your plan wants repetition. Your feelings want things to be pleasant. Your growth wants things to be possible. Those two worlds rarely align. You might wake up with the intention to work, to train, to study, to build, and then suddenly your mood changes. A little tiredness, a moment of frustration, a hint of worry, and suddenly the plan you designed with clarity becomes a burden your feelings want to avoid. Feelings push you to delay. They whisper, "Tomorrow will be better." They convince you that waiting is harmless. But every delay chips away at your consistency, one skipped effort at a time. Consistency doesn't disappear all at once. It dissolves by small decisions, quiet justifications, subtle emotional negotiations. You talk yourself out of the work gently, and then wonder why nothing moves. Feelings also magnify difficulty. A task that is perfectly manageable suddenly appears heavy simply because your emotional weather is cloudy. You begin interpreting effort as struggle, and struggle as a sign you should stop. And yet, the plan hasn't changed. The only thing that changed was your mood. The problem with feelings is not that they exist. Feelings are human. The problem is when they get a vote in the places they were never meant to lead. A feeling can tell you, this is uncomfortable, but it should never tell you, this is impossible. A feeling can say, I'd rather rest, but it should never decide, skip your responsibility. When you obey feelings, you surrender your consistency. When you obey your consistency, you train your feelings. This is something rarely understood. Feelings follow action, not the other way around. You don't wait to feel ready, you act, and the feeling of readiness develops later. You don't wait for confidence, you act, and confidence meets you on the path. You don't wait for motivation. Motivation appears after momentum begins. The plan leads, the feelings learn. If you let feelings interrupt your plan today, they will interrupt it tomorrow, and the day after, until your entire life becomes a cycle of starting and stopping. That's how dreams fade, not from lack of ambition, but from lack of consistency born out of emotional obedience. But when you follow your plan instead, when you act despite your mood, when you say, I don't feel like it, but I'll do it anyway, you separate your identity from your feelings. And that separation is the beginning of strength. The person who acts only when they feel like it is controlled by chance. The person who acts according to their plan is controlled by choice, and nothing, absolutely nothing, creates consistency like choice repeated over time. How to stick to your plan, even on low-energy days. Every long journey includes days when your energy is low, your mind is scattered, and your enthusiasm is nowhere to be found. Those days matter more than the good ones, because what you do when you're tired decides whether your plan survives or fades. Anyone can follow a plan when they feel sharp and inspired, but the person who learns to follow it on ordinary days, slow days, heavy days, dull days, becomes unstoppable. So how do you stay true to your plan when your energy is low? 1. Shrink the task, not the commitment. You don't have to perform at your best every day. You simply have to stay in motion. If you plan to study for an hour, study for 10 minutes. If you plan to exercise, do 5 minutes. If you plan to work on a project, complete one small piece. You're not trying to win the whole race today. You're just keeping the wheels turning. Small effort on a low-energy day protects your consistency better than huge effort on a perfect day. 2. Honor the plan with the smallest possible action. Your mind often believes that if you can't give 100%, you shouldn't give anything. That is emotion speaking, not reason. Effort compounds. A small action keeps your identity intact. I keep my word to myself. I follow my plan. I move even when I don't feel like moving. That identity is priceless, and it's built on days like these. 3. Start without negotiating. Low energy creates mental noise. I'll do it later. This isn't the right moment. I don't feel ready. Don't negotiate with feelings. Start immediately, without giving your emotions room to argue. A single step often activates momentum you didn't know you had. 4. Remove the drama. Low-energy days aren't signs of failure, they're signs of being human. Don't attach stories to them. Don't say, something's wrong with me, or I'm losing progress. Just accept them as part of the rhythm of life. Some days are strong, some days are quiet. Your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to remain present. 5. Protect the routine, even if you can't perform the routine. For example, if you plan to write each morning, sit at the desk, even if what you produce is small. If you plan to train, put on the shoes, even if your workout is short. The environment reminds your mind, this is what we do. This is who we are. Structure guides the body when feelings can't. 6. Lean on systems, not emotions. When energy is low, your emotions become louder. That's when systems save you. Systems are simple rules you follow automatically. Every morning, I start with 10 minutes. Every evening, I review my plan. Before bed, I prepare tomorrow's tasks. Systems protect you from your own moods. 7. Recognize that low days create the strongest discipline. A high-energy day builds results. A low-energy day builds character. It's on the days when you least feel like showing up that you actually grow the most, because you're shaping a mindset, not just completing a task. Consistency requires you to respect the plan even when the plan feels heavy. Those are the days that separate intention from identity. Sometimes the smallest action on a low-energy day ends up being the one that changes your life, because it proves to you that you're built on commitment, not comfort. The plan becomes stronger than the feeling, and you become stronger than both. Why motivation fades, but discipline stays? Motivation is a spark, bright, exciting, and quick to disappear. Discipline is a flame, steady, reliable, and capable of burning through any season of your life. The reason so many start strong and finish weak is simple. They trusted the spark. They depended on motivation to carry them through a journey that requires something far more stable. Motivation feels wonderful. No one denies that. It fills you with energy. It gives you confidence. It paints a picture of the future so vividly that you feel like you're already standing in it. But motivation has one fatal flaw. It relies on emotion, and emotion cannot be sustained. Motivation rises with inspiration and falls with inconvenience. It appears when life feels comfortable and disappears the moment things become difficult. It follows mood, environment, and circumstances, all of which change constantly. Discipline, however, isn't affected by any of that. Discipline is a decision carried into action. It is the agreement you make with yourself to honor the plan you designed, regardless of how you feel while carrying it out. Motivation is wind. Discipline is the sail. Without discipline, the strongest wind does nothing but push you around. With discipline, even a gentle breeze can take you exactly where you want to go. People often misunderstand discipline. They think it's harsh, restrictive, or joyless. In truth, discipline is freedom, because it frees you from the instability of emotions. It frees you from quitting on yourself. It frees you from the constant impulse to stop, postpone, rearrange, and restart. Motivation asks, do I feel like doing this? Discipline answers, it's the right thing to do, so I will. Motivation bends when the day is hard. Discipline holds steady. Motivation needs ideal conditions: silence, clarity, comfort, inspiration. Discipline needs only one thing: a decision. A disciplined person doesn't wake up searching for the emotional spark. They wake up with structure. They wake up with a plan. They wake up with the understanding that success is built from repetition, not emotion. The people who accomplish meaningful things aren't the ones who feel motivated every day. They're the ones who continue when motivation disappears. Motivation is temporary, but progress is permanent. Every time motivation fades, discipline steps in and says, let's continue. We're building something here. And that steady continuation, not the highs, not the excitement, not the rush, is what creates momentum. Discipline makes your actions predictable, and predictable actions build dependable results. The person who depends on motivation will always start over. The person who depends on discipline will always move forward, even slowly, even quietly, even on difficult days. Discipline is not about pushing harder. It's about staying faithful to the plan. It's the force that keeps you aligned when your emotions try to pull you in 10 different directions. Motivation is a visitor. Discipline is a companion. Motivation makes promises. Discipline fulfills them. And when discipline becomes your foundation, you no longer need to chase motivation, because progress itself becomes your fuel. How successful people override emotions with structure. If you study anyone who has built something meaningful, a career, a craft, a reputation, a body of work, you'll notice something quietly consistent. They don't rely on their emotions to guide them. They rely on structure. It's not that they're stronger than everyone else. It's not that they never feel tired, discouraged, or overwhelmed. They simply learned a truth early on. If feelings lead, results suffer. If structure leads, results grow. Successful people build systems that remove emotional choice from daily action. They don't wake up asking, "Do I feel like doing this today?" The decision was made long before the morning arrived. Structure becomes the leader. Feelings simply follow along. 1. They set fixed routines that don't bend with mood. A routine does half the work for you. It eliminates hesitation, which is where feelings usually find a way to interfere. A routine says, "This is what happens at this time. This is what we do, regardless of how we feel. This action is non-negotiable." The mind relaxes when decisions are removed. Structure frees you from emotional arguments. 2. They prepare the environment before motivation disappears. Environment shapes behavior more than emotion ever will. A structured environment quietly pushes you forward. Tools already laid out, tasks already organized, reminders set, distractions reduced. When everything is ready, the path forward becomes clear, and your feelings have less room to negotiate. Successful people design their surroundings to support their plan, not their moods. 3. They use small rituals to enter work mode. These rituals act like a doorway. Once you step through them, your emotional weather matters far less. It could be sitting at the same desk, a short walk, a warm-up routine, an opening sentence, a simple countdown, anything that signals it's time to begin. These little cues train the mind to follow structure instead of emotion. 4. They measure progress by action, not by feeling. Successful people don't ask, "How did today feel?" They ask, "Did I follow my plan today?" Feelings are inconsistent judges. Action is an honest one. When your structure defines success, you no longer depend on motivation to feel accomplished. You depend on commitment. 5. They treat emotions as background noise, not instructions. Strong emotions will always appear. Frustration, boredom, doubt, fatigue. But instead of obeying them, disciplined people observe them like passing weather. They say, "Yes, I feel this, and I will continue anyway." This simple sentence can change a life. 6. They break tasks into small, structured steps. Structure removes overwhelm. A giant task feels impossible when emotions lead. Broken into steps, it becomes manageable. Structure turns mountains into paths. 7. They return to the plan quickly after a setback. Everyone slips. Everyone has off days. Everyone loses track occasionally. What separates successful people is not that they never slip. It's that they don't stay down. Structure gives them a simple rule. When you slip, return immediately. No self-criticism, no drama, no guilt spiral. Just return. 8. They train themselves to respect the plan above the mood. Over time, this creates something rare, inner authority. Successful people are not ruled by emotions because they've built a structure strong enough to withstand emotional storms. Their discipline doesn't rely on inspiration, it relies on identity. This is what I do. This is who I am. This is the plan, and I follow it. And once that identity takes root, emotions no longer derail action. They simply pass through like weather across a steady landscape. The mindset shift that makes progress automatic. There is a point in every disciplined life where the struggle eases, not because the work became lighter, but because the mind became stronger. Progress starts to feel natural, almost automatic, when you adopt one simple but profound mindset shift. Stop trying to feel motivated and start trying to feel aligned. Motivation asks, "Do I want to do this today?" Alignment asks, "Does this action match the person I'm becoming?" Once you shift from emotion-based thinking to identity-based thinking, everything changes. When your actions come from the identity you are building, not the emotion you are feeling, progress begins to flow on its own. Not rushed, not forced, but steady. 1. Shift from outcome thinking to identity thinking. Instead of saying, I want the result, you begin saying, I want to become the kind of person who earns that result. When identity leads, effort becomes natural. You don't have to drag yourself. You recognize the work as part of who you are. 2. Stop asking for comfort. Start asking for alignment. Feelings chase comfort. Alignment chases growth. Comfort is temporary. Alignment is transformational. When something is aligned with your values, your goals, and your vision, it becomes easier to do, even when it's challenging. You're no longer fighting your feelings. You're acting from your principles. 3. Redefine discipline as self-respect. People often see discipline as force or pressure. But the truth is, discipline is self-respect in action. It's saying, I value the future version of myself enough to act in their favor today. When discipline becomes self-respect, it stops feeling like a battle. It becomes an expression of who you are. 4. Let the plan become your default, not your effort. Progress feels automatic when the plan is no longer something you try to follow. It becomes the natural path. Waking up and following the plan becomes your normal rhythm. Deviating from the plan feels strange, uncomfortable, out of place. That's when you know the shift has happened. 5. See effort as investment, not sacrifice. A sacrifice feels like something you lose. An investment feels like something you grow. When you see your daily efforts as seeds for your future, the work stops feeling draining. It starts feeling meaningful. You understand that every repetition is building something you'll one day be grateful for. 6. Build emotional neutrality toward the work. Instead of needing to feel excited, inspired, or energized, you accept that work is simply part of your life. Like breathing, like eating, like sleeping. You stop demanding pleasant emotions. You simply do the task. Quietly, calmly, consistently. And strangely, this neutrality produces more progress than intensity ever did. 7. Make your plan part of your identity, not part of your schedule. A schedule can be broken. An identity is harder to abandon. When you begin saying, I am a person who follows through, your behavior naturally aligns with that belief. You don't negotiate anymore. You execute. 8. Understand that feelings are weather, but identity is climate. Weather changes by the hour. Climate holds steady. Your emotions may shift every day, but your identity, once built, remains firm. When you act from identity rather than emotion, progress becomes automatic, because who you are determines what you do, not what you feel. This mindset shift loosens the grip of hesitation. It removes the emotional fog. It simplifies your life. Action becomes clear. Progress becomes natural. Consistency becomes effortless. And following your plan stops being something you try to do. It becomes the expression of who you are becoming. So, when you look back years from now, you won't remember the days when you felt unstoppable. Anyone can work on those days. You'll remember the days when you were tired, unsure, unmotivated, and you followed the plan anyway. Those are the days that change your life. Feelings come and go. They rise, fall, shift, repeat. But your plan stands like a lighthouse, holding steady through every emotional storm. Every time you choose the plan over the mood, you carve a new line into your character. I keep my word. I can rely on myself. I act from purpose, not impulse. And once you become that kind of person, progress stops being dramatic. It becomes natural. It becomes the quiet result of a life lived with structure, intention, and integrity. Following your plan is not about force. It's about direction. It's the gentle discipline of showing up, even in small ways, even on imperfect days, even when your feelings argue for comfort. You don't need to feel incredible to make progress. You don't need fire in your chest or lightning in your mind. You just need the courage to take the next step, faithfully, consistently, without emotional permission. Because every step taken from your plan strengthens you. Every time you override a feeling, you elevate your future. Every moment you move forward despite discomfort, you move closer to the life you designed long before the emotion arrived. In the end, success belongs to the one who keeps going, the one who understands that emotions are temporary, but direction is permanent, the one who walks the path even when the path feels long. Your feelings shift like weather, but your plan can build a lifetime. Follow it, honor it, return to it, and you will become not only successful, but someone strong, steady, and deeply proud of who they've become.